The e-commerce, the cyberspace has really helped the trade and the commerce. And just statistics. So in India, the e-commerce trade, the compound annual growth rate the last 5 years been to the range of about 50%. So 2005 to 2010 or 2011 for the figures which are available, the e-commerce really has taken off. In 2011, they say the total amount of transactions which happened on with the e-commerce is to the tune of about 10 billion. With India, low level of penetration, the credit card also availability with the population is less relatively. This is quite a big figure. In the e-commerce, let's understand what are the tax and regulatory issues. And before that, why these tax and regulatory issues? And before we get into the issues for the taxpayers, let's see that why these issues have arisen in the discussions between countries. And when we talk about countries, the developing countries, the developed countries. And the starting point was that in the mid-90s, when the internet revolution had started, there was a point which is mooted in the US that since e-commerce will facilitate trade in huge proportion, so there should be an exemption provided on the taxation for any trade which happens through e-commerce. And for obvious reasons, this was shot down for a simple reason, because if you exempt the e-commerce transactions, it would result into horizontal and vertical inequity. People who are not doing transaction through e-commerce, i.e., a traditional conventional trade, they would pay taxes, whereas if you are doing transaction through e-commerce, would not. And similarly, in the mid-90s, where people who are on the upside of the curve would have done transactions on e-commerce, and if that is exempt, so that was clearly shot down. Then again, in the IFA conference, somewhere in '99, where the developing countries, the countries who are importers of technology and countries who are providing technology, they met and they said, well, what is the one common point on e-commerce? And that was tax neutrality.